Skoda's Kylaq has magic in it. It's the magic to create happiness. Happiness that you can have a mass market car that is great to drive. Happiness that you have a Skoda that's great to drive and is comfortable on the worst of Indian roads and the worst of Indian traffic. Finally, happiness that it's still solid. Skoda has found that balance between European DNA and Indian needs, and that is magic. And when you get behind the wheel of the Kylaq, it will cast a spell on you. But that spell can also be weakened by a few things. For a company that prides itself on safety, its brakes are not consistent enough. And when the Indian monsoon hits, those wipers will wave their European passports because they just can't keep up. Now, admittedly, these won't be concerns every day and not for everyone in city traffic. But in the city, that engine will worry you a bit. It has a bit of a drinking problem to keep from getting bored in bumper to bumper traffic. And it is a bit stingy as well. Look at the reversing camera, and that horn seems like it's from a scooter. Thankfully, the cabin is good enough now, but it's still not as premium as that badge. And yes, concerns about the effectiveness of the air conditioning remain. Now you're thinking that's a lot to worry about. But kind of like the oracle said to Neo, you forget about your worries. You'll remember that you didn't believe in reviews and reviewers the second you walk past this door and settle down behind the steering wheel. Because then the Kylaq will spin its magic on you again. First, let's talk about a common and powerful type of magic: food. I had a restaurant in Europe for Indian food, and the masala and spice levels were kept properly desi. My restaurant bombed, and I blame the Europeans because they couldn't appreciate authentic Indian flavors. And that brings me to the Kylaq and its suspension setup. Clearly, Skoda has learnt and done better than my restaurant did. They have learnt to not cook for European tastes in their Indian kitchen. The Kylaq now doesn't just feel like a made in India SUV, it feels like a made for India SUV. It's a car that thrives in our road conditions. It is light and graceful over everything. It doesn't go kharang kharang over every small rut and pothole. It's better than the Kushaq and Taygun because of it. And yes, the suspension is softer. But over long drives, you'll find that distances seem shorter. Energy levels won't fade quickly. It's not just an effective car to travel in, it's an enjoyable car to travel in. Driving enthusiasts are going to enjoy the Kylaq. Let's be absolutely clear. This is not the Polo reborn. The Polo was never as much fun straight out of the factory. And this is fun. And if you choose to be sporty with it, then, well, it will play along. It will feel clean, it will feel involving. But as you push harder, the chinks will show up. The softness of the suspension means that it rolls a bit. If you flick it around, it can feel a bit loose. And the steering doesn't feel very involving. But Skoda could easily fix that anytime if they choose to do a Kylaq Sportline, right? But one thing that Skoda needs to fix for sure right now are the brakes. They are inconsistent, which means most of the times they work just fine at slow speeds, at highway speeds, even when you're driving quickly. But every once in a while, they kind of go rogue on you. To me, it just feels like there's oil on the discs and it's not working well enough. It happened in my parking lot while I was moving it around. It happened while I was driving quickly. And that's not a great feeling. It could be just this test car. But we've heard from you, owners, that there are issues with judderiness from the brakes even at low speeds. So there is something about the Kylaq's brakes that Skoda need to fix. And if you're planning to get one, try a different set of brake pads. That change should help fix things. One thing that is not a problem anymore because it's been fixed is that 1 liter engine. It now feels calm and grown up in city traffic, which is incredible. It doesn't shudder and shake anymore. It doesn't rush you around. When you're driving it with the manual, you can leave it in second gear even in stop-go traffic. And that's because it's got enough grunt to pull you out of there, and now it does it smoothly. As you spend time with it, you realize that you don't have to make too many gear changes. And that's a good thing because the clutch on the manual is heavy. And if you are planning to get thick and heavy with the Kylaq, I would recommend that you download the MotorInc app and sign up and head to Circles. It's all free because there you can get to meet other owners of the Kylaq and make a better and more informed decision. And while you're there, you should share your experience with the vehicles that you own today. Add them to the garage so people know that these are legitimate opinions. And of course, if you're headed to the app and to Circles, do put out a post that says good news, because some kind of magic has happened. It's happened with the engine and its relationship with the automatic gearbox. These two used to feel like they were at war earlier in city traffic. You always had to keep your foot on the brake because the engine wanted to surge ahead and the automatic felt clunky as it made shifts. But now, they work like a well-oiled machine. I can't actually believe I'm saying this, but it felt chill and enjoyable in city traffic, and that's a massive compliment. And talking about the enjoyment of driving, the enthusiasts will find that it still has that rush of excitement when you ask for it. But keep in mind, when you rev it hard and up, it doesn't feel eager, and that 3-cylinder engine will get noisy. The only thing left to talk about is its fuel efficiency, and the good news is that it has some. Let's move on. Listen, if you're only worried about fuel efficiency, then Skoda is not for you. You get your kitna deti hai. I'm not ashamed or embarrassed about its fuel efficiency. 8 to 9 kmpl in heavy city traffic is okay. And on night drives, it'll manage 10 to 12 kmpl. Sure, the Sonet is better by 1 to 2 kmpl in the city and 3 to 4 kmpl on the highway. But on the highway as well, the Kylaq will manage 15 to 17 kmpl. कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Doesn't matter. People will expect you to say, doesn't matter about the back seat as well, because it looks cramped. But actually, this back seat is a lot more usable and a lot more enjoyable than it seems. It's in the details. Even with the front seat set to its lowest position, there's enough footroom here for you to stretch forward. There is enough knee room and headroom for an average-sized adult like me. But there is enough space for 6-footers here as well, so long as there isn't another 6-footer up front. These seats are great, and the under-thigh support is one step away from being plain excellent. But even as is, you sit well supported. And so for long drives, this will be enjoyable. The only catch here is, this is purely a 2-seater. And finally, the cabin. This is no longer a deal breaker. Skoda has made a step up with the materials in use, the colors in use, and the design, all of which make it look better. The finish for this cabin is also good. My pet peeve with the Kushaq and the Slavia used to be this gap under the aircon vents. The plastic wouldn't fit properly. That's not an issue here. So this cabin is now respectable, but it's still not premium. It's not premium enough for a Skoda, and it's not the most premium in this segment. And neither is its equipment list. Sure, it has a few highlights. There is tilt and telescopic adjustment for the steering, which is great. It has ventilated front seats and is the only one in this segment to offer a power adjustable co-passenger seat. But then it has basic misses. We spoke about the wipers, which are too slow for Indian monsoons. It has no 360-degree camera, which is fine, but its reversing camera feed is VGA spec. And while it has a digital instrument cluster for the driver, its utility is undermined by the layout. For instance, if you want to see fuel efficiency readouts, those are only available in the infotainment screen. They can only be reset from the infotainment screen, which is nuts. And while the screen is crisp and easy to use, the smartphone connectivity is smooth and the sound system is decent, the mic for this infotainment system unerringly picks up background noise instead of blocking it out. And to block sunlight for the back seats, it should have had rear sunshades, which would have been especially helpful considering that the effectiveness of this air conditioning system is a concern here. Also, the position of the rear aircon vents is not great. Then there's the safety equipment or the convenience features like front parking sensors. They're missing, as is auto hold functionality, and it doesn't have a proper tire pressure monitoring system. These are things that should be standard on a car of this class. It also misses out on ADAS, but in our books, that's a bonus. Hey, the looks, we didn't talk about that, and I think it's because I was emotionally drawn by the driving experience and didn't think about it. But it doesn't hurt that it actually looks good. Up front, I think, is its best angle, although it does look a bit smaller than the other cars in this segment. From the sides, I think it looks strong. You've got great ground clearance, and with those large 17-inch wheels, it has a good stance. The rear clearly is its weakest angle, and the place from which you will make that polo connection. It almost seems like the Kylaq has decided who should get it and who should not. In the should nots list will be people who will be intrigued by it for the badge, for the practicality, because the boot is generous, the back seat is usable, it's a great long distance travel machine and yet friendly in the city. But to them, the Kylaq will remind that it's not the most efficient, not the best equipped, not the best VFM, and not the easiest car for long-term ownership. The people that the Kylaq wants are the ones who believe in a bit of magic, the magic of special cars. Those who believe that a good car can make life a bit happier with every drive. And the Kylaq is prepared to deliver on that. Despite the brakes, brake pad upgrades or regular service should do the trick. As for its other shortcomings, chances are you won't even notice them or easily figure out ways around them. And you'll do it happily because not only is the Kylaq fun to drive, it's good to live with in Indian conditions now. And that to me, if not magical, is certainly special from Skoda.